These are things that I hate about being a femboy. Probably the most annoying one. Constantly shaving. Oh my goodness. Having shaved legs is genuinely so awesome. It feels great. But the hassle of shaving them frequently is outrageous. People always say, oh, get an epilator. First of all, I don't even have epilator money. Those things go for like 300 bucks. I'm not doing that. And that shit hurts. Like, why would you do that? Maybe one day I'll try it, but I don't see myself doing it right now. The dream is to be financially stable enough to just laser all my body hair off. But that in itself is probably going to cost me an arm and a leg. That also kind of ties in with maintaining beauty standards. Social media is a key factor in the pressure to look perfect, so to speak. Social media is full of images of beautiful femboys that kind of make you look at yourself like, damn, I'm a chud. And while there's nothing wrong with wanting to work on yourself, some people, myself included, tend to get a little carried away at times. I love food, and it is a big part of my life. I'm a food fan. I'm a big back at heart. When I would post images of myself like daily, sometimes I would starve myself to slim down a little bit. Because in my head, I thought that was more attractive. After a while of doing that, I learned it's not good for me. Well, obviously, but I was also really malnourished, and that made me super cranky. I'm evil when I'm hungry. I don't know why. It kind of just runs in my family. We're all just like that. There's nothing really I can do about it. I think I'm like genetically dispositioned to be evil when I am not eating properly. The next thing I hate is when people like try to question my gender identity or other people's gender identity around me. Just because I look cute does not mean that I'm questioning my gender identity. It does not mean that I want to be a girl. I just like looking this way. Being a femboy is just a way to express your feminine side, and it doesn't need to be anything more than that. You can present yourself in a feminine way while maintaining your masculinity. What you do in your free time is your business, gang. Whenever I see people call other people eggs, it kind of just rubs me the wrong way. Like, you're planting a seed in their mind that if they're expressing themselves in a particular manner, they cannot possibly be their assigned gender, and respectfully, that's not for you to determine. Like, I can understand context is everything. Usually these are just jokes, but in most scenarios, I don't think it's something that should just be joked about. I love jokes. I'm a full-time goober, part-time streamer, part-time content creator, but I just don't like to try and make jokes that could be disguised as insults or rude remarks, if that makes sense. I'm very genuine when it comes to my interactions with people, and I don't want to try and be someone that I'm not. So usually, if I ever see stuff like that, I'm usually nipping it in the bud. I call it right there. I'm like, all right, no more of this. I let people know, like, if stuff makes me uncomfortable. And if someone is actually questioning their identity, that is perfectly fine. And they deserve all the love and support. And I can imagine something like that is not easy to go through. And just know that if you are going through that, you are definitely welcome in my community. Alright, next up is being approached by weirdos. Creeps are obviously something most femboys just deal with. They suck. They make me really uncomfortable. If I see a creep, I just instantly block them. They don't get far with me. My thing is, I don't know what possesses people to act in such strange ways. Like, did you just wake up that morning like, oh, I'm gonna send a picture of my meat to this random stranger on the internet in DMs? It happens on Twitter more than anything. That's why I turned off DMs on Twitter. Only people that I follow can message me. And honestly, I feel like that's for the best. If you're a femboy, I definitely recommend changing your setting to that. It gets to a point where enough is enough, to be honest. And then weirdos come in all shapes and sizes though, don't get me wrong. I don't like when other femboys are like, oh my god, I'm a femboy too, and then try to be friends with me just off being a femboy. You do not have to be a femboy to be my friend, dude. I have plenty of friends who are not femboys, and I hang around them because they are supportive and fun to be around. I always think that's super weird, and whenever people are like, oh my god, I'm a femboy too, I'm just immediately like, yuck. You know what I mean? Like, go away, bro. That does not mean that if you're a femboy, I automatically hate you. I just think the way that you present yourself to someone you're meeting for the first time says a lot about who you are as a person. I feel like the more I grow on the internet, the harder it is for me to find those genuine interactions with people, because there's just so many introductions that start with, OMG, I'm a femboy too. When people stand out, I gravitate towards them. I don't interact with those who shout the loudest, if you catch my drift. All this to say, just be more interesting than just being a femboy, because you are your own person. And that kind of leads into the next topic. Another thing I don't like about being a femboy is that people assume I'm like other femboys. I'm an individual, and you should be too. Just because I'm a femboy does not mean that I drink White Monster and say shit like ooh woo unironically. Some of the femboy shit is genuinely so corny to me, and it makes interacting with other femboys kind of difficult. A lot of femboys tend to enjoy the same things like fashion, gaming, anime, music, etc. But just because we all share similar interests does not mean that we are all the same. That's part of the reason why I started my You Do Not Want a Femboy Boyfriend series. Most of you probably know me for that. It was made to show that while we are all similar, we are all different in our own ways. That series really highlights a lot of unique characteristics femboys have across the globe, and I think it's great to showcase some of the differences that make people all over the world beautiful. Those videos are so much fun to make too, because I get to learn more about different cultures while also making something that brings everyone together. I mean, damn, dude, the amount of femboys across the world that ask me to talk about their country is unbelievable. This is probably my least favorite thing about being a femboy. Being fetishized. Unfortunately, the femboy community has a huge not safe for work problem. A lot of femboy creators make not safe for work content because, well, it sells, and bills gotta be paid. And I'm all for people getting their money. More power to you. But sadly, a good majority of creators who don't partake in not safe for work content get attention from the wrong crowd. This tends to bother a lot of safe for work creators, including myself sometimes, because we don't use our platforms to entertain people who objectify us. Not only that, there are so many femboys who are underage that also look up to creators like me. While I'm not trying to be a role model for the youth, I will definitely say that I do not want to negatively impact them and potentially inspire them to make not safe for work content. That's why my content is targeted towards people who are 18 and up. I feel like I do the most when it comes to moderation regarding age. My streams are very interactive. I'm always chatting with my viewers. If someone is underage in my chat, they get banned immediately. If someone joins the Discord server and they act like a child, or self-reports, as we like to call it, me and my mods, they get banned immediately as well. I do not play. This is not a safe space for people underage, unfortunately. And while my content is very tame, it is still targeted towards a mature audience because I am in the femboy community. While yes, not safe for work content is very profitable, it is not ideal for building a respectful community or having a long-term platform to interact with said community. I'm a firm believer that if femboys were more safe for work, it would make our content more marketable, therefore more profitable in the long run. I love interacting with my community. I love hanging out with you guys, whether it's on stream or Discord VC. You guys make my day, and I'm genuinely so grateful to have a community that is so amazing. As someone who used to post not safe for work content, I could tell you that I've always wanted a community, and that community that I had only cared about me when I posted, for obvious reasons. I didn't like the way I was being perceived, so I changed my style of content. I feel like I'm not alone though. There are plenty of other safe for work creators that I'm seeing that are doing their thing, and I support them. That doesn't mean that we can't have mature discussions about how to treat femboys on the internet though. The best way to interact with femboys on the internet is to recognize their individuality. If they lack individuality, don't pay them any attention. People who do not express themselves and just play the part of being a femboy are only in it for attention. It's a complete waste of time. I think it's safe to say that if you see a new creator or you aren't familiar with them, unless if it's obvious that they make not safe for work content, please do not be weird to them. Feel the vibe of the stream or their content before you go just saying stuff that could potentially make them uncomfortable. I just wish that as a community, we could respect ourselves a little more. I know I'm very yappy about this topic, but it's because I'm very passionate about it. I tried not safe for work, it wasn't for me. That doesn't mean it isn't for someone else. That also doesn't mean that I dislike other creators that are in the not safe for work scene. I have a bunch of friends that make not safe for work content, but they don't make it their whole personality, and I respect that. Again, if I like you, that's because you're unique and you stand out. I like that. I don't hate you if you make not safe for work content. I think a lot of creators in this space are genuinely awesome people. I just wish it was a little less freaky, that's all. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Let me know what you guys think about the discussion format. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Should I shut up? Let me know. Catch you in the next one. Bye!